Welcome, my name is Tashara and this is StarMade. In today's episode we are continuing our build on this space station over here, and I mainly want to concentrate on this part over here, the control center, basically the brain of the station. And yeah, it's something I wanted to do for a while, but I also didn't want to do it because it's going to be a pain to do. I have to link up all the logic to this beautiful map I created of the station. So basically get some actual controls in here so that I can open and close all the doors on the station. It's actually more or less a necessity at this point because yeah, flying all the way to the other side of the station takes a freaking long time. So yeah, that's also why I'm basically not wanting to do this, because it's going to be a pain to link all the logic blocks up to the blocks over here. So it's going to be a lot of flying back and forth. But yeah, needs must. So I need to design a room around this map and then actually start linking up the logic. As you can see here, I created a basic room shape around this map area, and I decided to add these pillars to break up the walls a bit. And I think these spaces in between are nice spaces to add some sort of computer terminals where I can add additional activation buttons or other computers that I need for this station. This is basically the secondary reason why I needed this bridge section. For example, if I want to add some sort of control mechanism, for example, a rail speed, things like that, I can put it in the bridge over here, and then I can actually find it again if I need it, because it's all centralized. So that's why I need it as well. And below here you can see that I already have some of the blocks connected over here, the remote connection blocks, but I don't have a connection for basically these buttons over here that actually will open and close the all the doors on the station. So that's also still a concern. But let's continue detailing this part a bit more and actually put in a roof over here, because yeah, it's a bit open at the moment. A bit more detail added like this. So like I said, I added some computer terminals within the spaces between the pillars, just to add some additional detail and have some spaces for additional computers that I need. But yeah, you basically made a copy of a station and then basically copied it over to each section. I will personalize them later on as I need them. But yeah, it gives a bit more of a bridge feel already, like this. The only exception is that this side of the room is a bit empty now. I need some sort of control stations, or at least some mechanical bits over there as well, I think. Yeah, put in a roof, but it's a bit bare, needs some detail, but we'll get to that. I finally decided to detail this main section at the front of the bridge. This is basically where the most important control stations are. So the build block, the main storage, and the shipyard control, at least the shipyard computer. So I think this is the main station that we'll be using as a station owner. So yeah, the rest of the bridge is nice to have, but yeah, like I said, that's just the computers that I need. For example, I put the faction block over here, so that's one thing, and then over here I've got a real speed controller for basically the 100% speed doors that I need. So nice and centralized, so it can find it again. I also worked out the control station I want to have for the map. So basically I got one control station for each door. So we've got 3 over here for the doors in the storage section over there. Then one for the main landing bay doors on each section over here, and this one is for the door to the worker bee section. You can actually see that one from the bridge over here easily enough. And of course some control stations for the fighter base over here. Yeah, one of those lights is on because there's one fighter docked in the station at the moment, so that's one I already linked up as a test. but I still need to do all the other ones, so it's going to be a bit of a pain to do, but it needs to be done. I'm out here in astronaut mode at the moment, just to give you a bit of a sense of scale how big this bridge is, and to show you how it actually works. Added some control station on the front of this bridge section as well over here, so this is basically some work terminals for temporary work, not permanent work like these, because you've got nice chairs over here. And of course we've got the control station over here, all nicely labeled now with the names for the doors it's going to operate. So if you press one of these doors, then they will open. Let's choose one that actually is visible. For example, this worker bee door. You can press it over here. Then in the map section over here, we can see here now it's read that it's closed. So if we go to the front of the station bridge, then we can see that it is closed over there. As you can see, it's closed. So if you go back and press it again, then it will be open again. Here we go, and we see it is light up blue, so it means it's open. And if you look at the actual door, then it will be open. There you go. Would have been really embarrassing if it didn't work, but it did. I did test some of the doors, but not all of them, because it's a lot of work as well to do that properly. And as you can see here, I had one ship docked over there on the upper docking area as well, just to test out if those work. So basically all the things are lined up. You can press all the buttons and close and open all the doors, and you can see the result over here. So only this door is now closed, but let's open it up. So yeah, all doors are now open. So this gives a nice visual representation of what the state of the station is, where ships are landed or at least docked, and if doors are open to the outside. It also have this green light in the middle over here. This is indicating the shipyard. I can't really activate or deactivate the shipyard itself, but you can activate or deactivate the shipyard like this with pulling items from storage. So this is basically indicating that it's now pulling the items from storage to build something. So if you turn it off, then it's no longer will pull from the storage and no longer build the ship. So that's a way to activate or deactivate the shipyard as well. But we'll see if we can do something more with it to indicate if a ship is docked or something like that. I'm not sure if that's possible with the current setup I have, but we'll see if that works or not. One additional thing I did do as well, not directly connected to the bridge over here, but to the side section over here, is this. Well, it's going to be an airlock, but at the moment it's just a door. This is basically a quick way to get from the bridge to the outside, to the shipyard area. So it's a bit more practical than that it is a roleplay purpose. But yeah, I'm going to add some sort of airlock and staging area for astronauts in here, I think, and connect it relatively closely to the bridge, so you can easily go from controlling the station itself to the outside of the station, or to a teleporter of some sort to get into the ship that you have built or want to maintain, whatever it is. So there's a bit more of a practical addition to the station itself. So in this way, this bridge is now more or less done. At least it's functional. I can put in additional computers if I need it. Have enough space for that at least. Just need to connect it up to the rest of the interior once I'm going to work on that. But there's some other things I need to do for this station as well, because this is not the only bridge or control section I have, because I also have a couple of them, at least 4, basically over here. Yeah, overlooking the hangar base like this. So I'm planning to at least block out or create a room at least for this workstation or control station as well. but I'm not sure how I'm going to detail it and what it's going to do exactly. Because I was thinking perhaps I can also add a shipyard in these areas, basically in this docking bay, but I'm not entirely sure about it if I ever want to do that or not, or just keep the single big shipyard in the middle and then basically build every ship in the middle over here. I'll have to do some testing if that works or not. It's a bit confined in the actual docking area over here, I think, so I have my doubts. The first step for this control section for the hangar base is basically blocking out a space for the floor. See how big I wanted to have. So I decided to break out this wall I had over here because I want this area to be a bit bigger and then connect basically to a hallway section already designed that I copied over from the floor below. So not this one, but this one. Yeah, this is the one. But as you can see here, it's not entirely lining up with the rest of the station because some of the blocks over here are bleeding through from the outside of the station. So I need to fix that up and redesign this connection hallway a bit. But basically give it the similar shape like area for basically recognition like the rest of the floors, but give it its own flair so you can recognize it as this particular floor. And then I've got all this space laid out for our new control station. As you can see, I only blocked out the walls for this control center. I'm not going to detail it at the moment. I already worked on the main control center, so I don't have any inspiration for this control center at the moment. I need to let it rest a bit. But I did connect it up to the new designed hallway. At least it's similar to what it was when I copied it over, but there's some changes to the wall design, like for example this extrusion over here, bringing the one I have over here. And this gives me the space to basically hide the wall section that was blending in. But I think I'll leave it for now, at least for a starting point for this floor. That was the main issue I had. And I'm going to work on something else for this station. Something important that it was missing. Because for the longest time I didn't have any main turrets. For example, I had this turret hardpoint over here, and as you can see, I slightly redesigned it with a bit more detail. Not that you're going to see a lot of it when the turret is on top of it, but if it ever gets shut up, then you can basically see the details underneath, or if you want to change it to a different turret, things like that. I do have the anti-missile turrets over here, of course, the small ones, but I need a bigger one for our main defense of the station. So that's what I want to design right now. I didn't have a very clear idea of what I wanted to do for the main turret for the station until I built this little ship for the ship building contest, or at least the challenge, community challenge. The idea behind this ship was that it was basically built from parts laying around that were welded together, and the main hull of this ship is the cannon, or at least the barrel of a cannon from a bigger ship that was used as the main ship shape for this main hull of this little ship. So that's what I did. I took the main idea of these split hulls, and then with this brown armor stripe in the middle, and then added my weapon outputs at the front over here, and this more or less is going to be the barrel of at least two barrels of my main turret design I'm going for. It's not really correctly positioned in compared to the core, but I just want to get the shape done, and then I can copy it to the correct position once I'm a bit further along. But this is the start of the idea I have. I want a lot of space within the barrel section of the turret, and then just have a very basic cradle or base section of the turret to rotate on, so that we can get the maximum amount of modules within our weapon part of the turret. This is me starting out with the base frame for the turret. Like I said, I wanted to keep it very simple, basically a simple frame cradle that will hold the main barrel of the turret design. And at the moment it's not connected to a what do you call it, turret hardpoint, turret rotator, but to a regular rail, so I can basically move it around, because I am not sure about the position yet, or how the barrel should be positioned within this cradle. I'm probably going to move it down a bit, and perhaps a bit to the front or back. I'm not sure yet. It's just a matter of trying out what looks best to me, and what's the most efficient for the space I'm going to dedicate to this turret. So this is the first basic iteration of what the turret is going to be. It's just the two barrels all the way built to the ends. Then basically they're in position now with the base of the turret. So this gives us a lot of space for weapon modules. But this is not the final look I'm after, because this looks a bit too basic. It doesn't have a lot of detail, and yeah, the barrels are basically not connected, only to the frame of the base of the turret, so we need to fix that as well. My first thought was to basically add an armor layer on top of the barrels and then connect them at the back with these fin-like structures, like those, but yeah, I still need a bit more detail within the armor panels themselves, but they are nicely connected now. The only thing I don't like at the moment is that it is too much of the dark gray color for the entire barrel loops. So I'm probably going to change this back part of the armor to light gray, or at least regular gray instead of the dark one. Just to have a bit of a contrast between the barrel part of the gun and the part that's holding the barrels itself. I think this stage is a good example to show how I'm working on changing the shape of the turret. As you can see here, I basically cut off the barrel loops over here and then moved them around a bit, because they're a bit closer together now and they're a bit less high. So one block from the top and bottom were cut down, so they're a bit more narrow. And then the idea is to have this go over into a different armor panel, then connect to the back section of the barrel section of the gun. But the overall shape as it is now is more or less what I'm after. It's very compact, at least compact enough to not interfere with the main structure of the station if it's docked to that, and then enough space to add a whole bunch of weapons. And here we have it in its more or less final form. So it's all nice and detailed. Added some additional armor paneling to break up the continuous areas, and I added the weapon modules as well. Decided to go for a nice beam cannon, so it's got 6 beams that fire over a reasonable far distance. So it's not a rapid fire cannon, but it will pack a hell of a lot of punch. Yeah, this station is basically intended to have a package fleet basically guarding this place. So these turrets are nice, but it's not going to defend, I think, everything against everything. Against a lot, but not everything. So the only thing I need to do now is basically finalize this turret as far as systems go. So tweak it a bit and then copy it over to all the docking points on this station. But that's for another time, I think. I think this episode has gone on long enough. So let me know what you think, and I'll see you next time.